Watch for the wind.
Right, Hammond, can you swing it round?
Do you want me to swing it?
Yeah, swing it. Try and get it straight. Oh, shit!
Who pulled that?
We've got to save the car. It's a reef. Save it. I haven't got it's gone.
Who pulled the... That's to release it, you muppet.
I thought it was a guide rope. I thought
No, I steer it. You just release it when it's on there.
Oh, he told me to steer it with that rope. He said pull the rope to
This
steer
is
it.
a £400,000 crane. Why would you steer it with a piece of string? It's got all these knobs and buttons. I steer it. You release it.
So that's a quick release.
Yes.
Got it.
Okay, I'm ready. Oh, I can do it, I can do it. Right. Right, I need to get this going as quick as possible. You lot out of the way.
He's not going to do it.
Follow. Right, I'm ready. This is Momotaro. He's a local folk hero. According to legend, an old lady... That was so close. So close. He's no... I'm not sure I can do it. My nudges are getting a pummeling. Ow, 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 ow.
Look at this anal action
Wait.
going on here. No, it's because my horse is going up your one's bottom. Oh, Christ, we've had an accident. Oh, God.
You go ahead.
I'm terrified.
My nads are killing me.
Oh, stop that. Please don't fight.
Walk on.
I'll stop calling you Tesco if you promise not to fight. Go.
Walk.
There you
There you go. Ow, 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 ow.
Oh, God.
Oh, God above.
Not much further now, James.
Jesus. I mean, Buddha. There is Jez's back alley. Well found. Oh, sorry, I'll do it again. This is Momotaro. He's a local folk hero. And let me see if I can remember the story correctly. There was an old woman who was out by the river and she saw a big peach floating past. So she picked it up and took it home. And when she cut it in half, she found this small boy inside. And the small boy went off and he made friends with a dog, a monkey, a pheasant and a pigeon. And then somehow, with their help, defeated all the ogres who were threatening the city. And why is his penis out to one side?
In the shed zone, James was struggling to find something which matched his rigorous standards.
Now, this is dangerously close to being a gazebo, which means it will be misappropriated, look, by people on exercise bicycles.
As dawn broke, the peace and serenity of this beautiful Ugandan morning was shattered by the bellow of a wild animal.
Clarkson! This is heading in the right direction, the 6x4 Apex shed of Shiplap Construction. It's a very simple structure, it has a window, but it's not really the shed for a man of the stature of 5-time Olympic gold medal winning Sir Steve Redgrave, CBE. We want something bigger.
As we set off on our long drive, the mood was a little fractious.
If I know James May at all, but I'm sorry to have to say, I do. He won't be so cross about the theft of half of his bonnet as he will be about the shoddiness of the execution of the theft. It's not a neat job. that will rankle.
Look at it. I mean, that looks like it was done with a knife and fork by the council. It's not square, it's not neat, he's wasted material, he's left sharp edges, it's all bent. I cannot conceive of the mind of a man who would look at that and think that was the right way to do it. I don't mind you taking a bit of my bonnet, that's fair. I do mind you doing such an appalling bloody job of it, you ham-fisted oaf. Honestly, I could do a better job than that with the end of a bulldozer.
Well, I couldn't find any tools.
The back of the car is full of bloody tools. The biggest tool in this operation was you. A pair of tin snips looks like a pair of robust scissors, and their function is obvious. They are obviously not a hammer.
This could go on.
Obviously not a screwdriver. They are obviously not a spanner. They are obviously designed.
There we go, that's got rid of him.
So you see, you take the big spanner off, you can see the big spanner is missing, put the big spanner on, you know it's in the right place. If Jeremy Clarkson came in here and did that, you'd see immediately that that is not the correct spanner for that peg. That should be on there, and that should be on there.
With James suffering from an industrial bout of OCD, realising he'd got off to a bad start, James was now trying to charm Maddie with some romantic conversation.
It's not actually an overdrive that you need to treat it as one. It's actually a ratio of 1-to-1. It simply locks the input shaft to the output shaft.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It was a place which seemed to be mostly full of sheds. And what kind of nerd would find those interesting?
Wow.
The Stig had 465 miles to cover and was a man on a mission. James, however, wasn't.
A spacer bush, 3/8 internal diameter, ½ inch outside diameter, 35 millimetres. From the rear mount using bolts 3, inserted from the front of the mounting.
James, does it need a washer, yes or no? You've got to be faster than you are being. Speed is what matters today, seriously. Guess and go fast.
Shut up, Jerry. Quantity 1, heavy-duty workshop door end. Heavy-duty workshop plane end. 2 heavy-duty workshop window panels, yes. 2 heavy-duty workshop plane
This was
panels.
ridiculous. James had to be reminded that we were against the clock.
Yes, no, but you've spent like half an
Yeah, but
hour.
if the screws are not in the right lengths in the wrong holes, you get end up at
Just-
the end of the shed with the wrong screw left over and it won't be long enough. And then you have to
Build-
dismantle the whole
build
thing
the
again.
shed.
I'm building the shed.
You're
This
not
is
building
part
the
of
shed,
building
you're
the shed.
naming your tool.
Don't hit it with the hammer.
Why?
Because it's the tool of a pikey. Wait.
While those two were bickering over the lawn, my shed was taking shape nicely.
The thing you've got to remember is that everything good in the world, especially everything good that ever came out of Britain, came out of a shed. Radio, television, jet engine, printing press, and in other countries, the aeroplane, the hot air balloon.
Predictably, though, James was being too anal to notice.
That's all he's done all morning. He files. He takes stuff out and then puts it back and files it where it's supposed to be. James!
What?
Stop filing!
Looking for the sodding socket thing that you need to take that out. Do you know where it is? Do you know where it is?
no.
Do you know what it looks like?
Yes.
No, you don't.
Terrific. They compete very slightly in your mouth. The oyster that you think, ooh, that's a bit salty, and you put the wine and you think, ooh, that might be a bit sharp. No, it's nice. It resolves. It's like, well, I was going to make a musical analogy, but that will...
Go on, make another one.
No, it's just, it's like counterpoint. You see, in the classical era, music it essentially works vertically as a series of harmonies going that way, but in the Baroque era, it works as a series of melodies. Somebody said, I can't remember who it was, Baroque music is as fatuous as several people talking at the same time, but it isn't, because there is tension in the music going horizontally, but it resolves at the cadences, and that's exactly what happens with that. You think, ooh, oyster, ooh, wine. No, it's nice.
You can make some sensationally intelligent comments occasionally.
I can't believe I'm... Sorry, I'm going to have to go away for a minute. I've turned into a pond. See, the thing about this shelf is that on it, one day, will rest a component that Sir Stephen Redgrave, CBE, 5-time Olympic gold medalist, will pick up and use to create something brilliant. And that can only happen because people have sheds with stuff in them. You see what I mean?
Back at base, we were doing well.
That's it. Well,
Even though James was being very annoying.
Hang on, let's just think about where all the... See, we haven't got the nuts and bloody fasteners
oh, let's
ready.
just get on with it, get it lined up. Hey, James,
21.
I got a metal willy.
Captain OCD, however, was not in the mood for willy gags.
Where the chuffing hell has it gone? This is why you put them back in the same place. Where did you put it last time you had the 19?
Oh, for God's sake,
Ratchet.
just find any spanner.
Again, James was very angry with me.
I think you've got something to say to me, haven't you?
I'm surprised how heavy rugby posts are.
Something along the lines of, I'm sorry, James, I am a fully rigged, rate A1, ocean-going
Sir Steve
pillar.
Redgrave will be... Oh, hello, this looks like a tunnel opportunity.
That is a genuinely horrible noise that Hammond's car's making, and he just keeps doing it. He keeps stamping one pedal, then stamping the other one in his binary style. A quick situation update. I'm driving through sunny Italy. Shut up!
Bad news, James. I'm afraid there's a tunnel coming up.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Don't do it, Hammond.
Just relax, enjoy a bit of quiet.
You are gonna love that.
God really did mess up with Scotland, didn't he? Because, oh, look at that, this is my best work. And now it's going to rain constantly.
Yeah, he made something really rather beautiful and then covered it with a tatty old sheet in the form of the weather.
It's interesting that in the Islamic world, artifacts can't be perfect because only God is capable of perfection. But in Christian society, we like to think that God introduces some imperfection and flaws into the world, lest we should be blinded and driven mad by its beauty.
James, are your side pipes putting fumes into the cabin?
He began that by saying, it's interesting, isn't it? And then proceeded to not be interesting for the next 10 minutes.
One of the purposes of the original Grand Tour wasn't just to look at things and learn about things, it was also to enhance your capabilities. You would learn to do things. You might do, I don't know, writing sonnets, playing musical instruments, regional cooking maybe. I'm having a go at watercolour painting. It's absolutely delightful. Apart from my reverie is occasionally interrupted by the disgusting bellow of Hammond's muscle car.
Once the ape had untangled himself and we were all parked, I settled down to write some poetry in the evening stillness.
Can I have a beer?
I can't hear you over that appalling racket.
What?
I can't hear you over that appalling racket.
Can I have a beer?
I can't hear you over that appalling racket. No, you can't.
Oh, come on.
It's run out.
It hasn't run out. It's a pub.
It's run out of beer for you.
I'm a tired and thirsty traveller from out in the desert.
If you put the appalling two-stroke motorcycle away and come in the pub, you can have a beer. Otherwise, you can
Oh,
go...
look at that.
Oh, no.
Power! Come on. Hey! missing out.
Jet ski, sounding shite. On Lake Vegas, left and right. Rotax engine, rin bin bin. I hope the owner's arse caves in.
James didn't take the news well.
Look what you've done to my bloody shed, man!
I had this bomb, and that'll buff out.
What time is this programme on? Is it 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
Is it 10 o'clock on BBC Two?
Yes.
Are we beyond the watershed?
Yes.
You're a fuck.